and these 4 companies will be signing the agreement. The first amongst the 4 bidders, 4 successful bidders, is HDF Energy South Africa Pty Limited. It's a large listed company. Please can I ask Mr. Nicholas Lacombe to join my colleagues to sign the agreement. And once you have committed yourself, sir, together with our new other partners, I will then request all of you to come back here for a group photograph. Colleagues on the virtual line, please start typing your questions for the whole team that is here to respond to. Once our new partners have bound themselves, they can then answer your questions about what it is they will do to help South Africa increase available electricity supply. Thank you. Please seal it with a handshake, Nicholas. We want the photographs and we want the evidence you were here. Thank you, sir. Next, I have the pleasure of calling Mr. Sharif Harris of Red Rocket. Please come up and commit yourself and your company. The company is Red Rocket SA Pty Ltd. It's the 14th of October, 2022. Around 1:15. Thank you, Maruja of Solar Group Pty Ltd. Ra leboga Ntate Maruga. Thank you, sir. Lastly, please can I call on Ms. Thoron of Mainstream Renewable Power Developments SA Limited? Thank you, Ms. Thoron. You are most welcome. Please stay on the stage. Can I request all of you colleagues that have just signed, together with the teams that have drafted this and produced this agreement, to join us here, please, for a group photograph? Now that you have committed yourselves for 20 to 30 years to generate electricity for the people of South Africa. Please, over here. Yes, please. We can pretend we are happy while we're doing it. How's this going to work? Maybe it's better here. What do you think, colleagues? Please come this side so we can avoid the screen. I thought we had some Eskom people as well.
Yeah, where's the Eskom people? Further. Where's Bongi?
Nina? Falling off.
One step forward.
Return.
Can we not switch the projector off instead? Because there's a lot of people.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah.
Is that fine?
Let me just cross over.
Forward, but forward.
If we put the projector off, we can all stand in the middle.
Yeah, I think so.
Can somebody make that suggestion?
She's saying.
Okay, we've got 2 minutes.
We don't know where to look at.
Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you.
We look forward to working with these developers to accelerate approval processes, land zoning processes, so that we can remove as many obstacles as possible. I think it's in the national interest that we do so, and we certainly have significant support from Operation Vulindlela, located in the presidency, to do exactly this. So we're quite bullish that we can work with the developers to really accelerate and put our foot on the pedal and make things happen as quickly as possible. We don't have a first right of refusal. It is our understanding, because we're not getting involved in the commercial arrangements where this electricity will be sold to. So these are our understanding bilateral agreements with private sector customers. And there is an opportunity, particularly with the hydrogen plant, to also offer ancillary services, and in particular black start facility services, to our system operator. And that is something that we are going to be exploring because that obviously saves Eskom capital and it makes the grid more stable. These will all be done through transparent commercial arrangements, so no underhand dealing. I can give you the assurance of that. Deneen, in answer to your question, we will. We worked initially on an estimate of about 2,000 megawatts. Now, Eskom engineers are famously conservative. We are of the view that what we're going to see is something significantly bigger than that. But we must allow the developers to now go and do detailed studies, to do detailed designs, to understand exactly what is best suited, which technologies are most appropriate for the land that is available. And once that process is completed, then we will be able to determine the exact amount of megawatts that will be available. It's safe to say that it's at least 2,000 megawatts, which of course goes a long way to filling up the 4 to 6 gigawatts that Eskom has been saying for the past 3 years or so that we require. The 18 successful bidders, it wasn't quite 18 successful bidders. There were 18 land parcels on which there were 18 bids submitted. The 4 companies represented here today bid on a number of these parcels, and these were allocated based on our adjudication criteria. And we are therefore comfortable that who we have here are credible developers that I think, as you will have seen from their presentations, have an established track record in delivering on renewable energy projects, not only globally but also in South Africa. So we really look forward to bringing that expertise to bear. I can maybe just add that there is a use it or lose it clause. So historically what we've seen is that IPPs have tended to buy land with grid access and for whatever reason then not develop those projects, thereby sterilizing potential grid access. In this instance, because we have elected to lease the land and not sell the land, we retain a measure of control that if these developers, and we're not suggesting for a minute that they won't develop, but if they don't, then we have the right to take the land to someone else who can make use of that grid access. So we don't want to sell, we want to lease so that we can have a measure of control to ensure that in fact within a period of 3 years we see certain milestone developments being reached to make sure that these projects actually proceed. Teresa, I think I've answered your question in terms of the sizes and the types of technology. What I would suggest is that you also engage with the individual developers who can give you far more detail on what they envisage and the technologies that they intend to deploy. From an Eskom perspective, we're not being prescriptive as long as it is renewable energy and as long as it is done in a certain time frame. We are very happy to be the facilitator of private investment into Mpumalanga, conservatively estimated to be at least 40 billion rand over the next couple of years. So I think that's a great demonstration of the fact that in spite of assurances by the renewable energy industry that the sun doesn't shine and the wind doesn't blow in Mpumalanga, that is in fact not true. Mpumalanga has grid access, it's got natural resources, but most importantly, it's got people who are eagerly looking forward to the job opportunities that will be created by these investments. Thank you. Sikonat.
Congratulations once more to the successful bidders, HFD, Red Rocket, Solar Group, as well as the South African Mainstream Renewable Power Development. Welcome on board, and we're looking forward for the megawatts coming from your plants, and as Andre has indicated, it's the most needed commodity at this point in time in South Africa.